One of the great things about Project Zomboid is the active modding community, which has a vast library of mods to add features or items that are not in the vanilla game. But just because features are not in the game doesn't mean that they'll never be in the game. The devs are constantly adding new things to the game, and maybe, with some time, these features will be added in the game too. So here's a list of some of the features I hope come to Project Zomboid. The first talking point is not really a feature, but it's something I would like to see nonetheless, and that is an expansion of the farming system. As of right now, farming isn't too engaging from a gameplay point of view. Once you find seeds and have a steady source of water, you're pretty much good. The only thing you might have to worry about is disease, but if you space out your plants, you don't even have to worry about it. What I would like to see first are more crops added to the game, and even have crops have more yield for planting in the right season. Maybe to add in some depth into the system, you can take into account the soil and the nutrients level in it. But what I would like to see the most is what I call risk-reward farming. Essentially, once you have a crop ready to be harvested, you can continue to tend to it to get a better yield. For example, let's say you plant some melon seeds. Those melon seeds will grow up into a small melon. That small melon will have a 90% chance to become a medium-sized melon. That medium-sized melon will have a 60% chance to become a large melon, then a 40% chance to become a huge melon, and then a 10% chance to become an enormous melon. Each stage will grant the player more food per crop, and at any point the crop can become diseased, or if it fails to pass the next stage, it will rot. I just want to see a more engaging farming system, and while this is not the most engaging system, this will have the player do a little bit more when it comes to farming. The next thing I want to see is alternatives to transportation. There really isn't much to say here besides walking long distances can really suck, and getting a car in working condition can really be a hassle and really take a long time. I would like to see some other ways to travel, like riding a bicycle or skateboarding. With animals coming to the game, I know some people really want to see horses come, and if they do, they can be a great alternative to a car. Overall, alternative transportation will give the player more control over how they handle looting in other situations, as it could be faster than walking, but much quieter than a car. But if we are not going to get alternative modes of transportation, I want the ability to modify vehicles to doomsday vehicles. I don't want anything crazy, just something to help kill zombies or protect you from zombies. Maybe you can add spikes to the front of your car, or add metal to the hood to protect the engine better. To balance this, maybe the more metal you add to the car, the slower the car gets. However, if that is unlikely, I would like to see another good alternative feature to have, and that is the ability to have homes and vans. The mod RV Interiors shows a good concept of this, as you will be able to live your life on the road, and this is pretty balanced as you have reduced space to store things and you need gasoline for your vehicle. Whether we get alternative transportation, doomsday vehicles, the ability to live in RVs, or something else entirely, there is no doubt that this will only add to the game and add to player experiences. The last two features I want to see are in regards to NPCs once they are added to the game. The first I will talk about is the ability to trade with NPCs. I think there should be some type of economy in the game so that the player doesn't have to do everything or make everything themselves, especially in single player. Again, there really isn't much to say here, but I think it could add in some more depth to the world and make NPCs feel more valuable to the player. The last feature I will talk about is the ability to give NPCs commands. I don't want the NPCs in the game to lack any autonomy and only wait for the player to say something, but I think it would be cool to have some NPCs out looting with you and you could command them to loot certain areas or to watch a certain direction to help protect the group. Maybe the NPCs will take into account whether or not they like the player, so if they like the player, they are more likely to help them out or listen to their commands, and if they don't like the player, they won't listen to them. These are some of the features I would like to see come to the game eventually, but I guess I've got mods until then. But what about you? What are some of the features you would like to see come to the game, whether it's in a small update or in a major build? I'd love to hear some of your ideas. But that's it for me. I'll see you next week. Have a good one.